I did not even start on my college basketball team. Now some of you guys are looking at me like, wait. How is that even possible? Opportunity. My coach looked down that bench. I looked right back at him. Like, man, put me in the game, man. Put me in the game, coach. Put me in the game, I'm gonna help you win. And so every time he put me in the game, it was an opportunity. I turned those little small opportunities into an 8-year professional basketball career opportunity. I've been speaking for 20 years. The first time I spoke, I was at a freaking ballroom at a Rotary Club with a bunch of old dudes on the pacemaker machines, right? Opportunity, everybody with me? And so I've been able to take advantage of every opportunity that God has given me, and that's why I'm here. Is everybody with me? I need to check to make sure that you are mentally ready to take full advantage of every opportunity, like LeBron James. He's taking full, whether you like him or not, he's a billionaire playing basketball, which means he's taking full advantage of every opportunity he's been given. So can I ask you a question before we even get started? Have you taken full advantage of every opportunity you've ever been given your whole entire life? Chances are you haven't. So I came by today to check in on you. I came by today to make sure that you're not falling asleep on you. I came today to make sure you're not falling asleep on life, because you only have one crack at this thing. I drive by cemeteries all the time, and I'm always marveled by the tombstone. It's the day you're born, the day you die, and then there's the dash. We always focus on the day you're born, the day you die, but nobody talks about the dash. Right now, you're in the dash, and everything you do every morning is going to impact your dash. Does that make sense to everybody? And so at 53 years old, I'm proud of my dash because I've been able to take advantage of every opportunity within the dash. Let me tell you something. I'm fired up because this is nothing more for me than an opportunity to transform lives like my life has been transformed. And I don't take anything for granted. When you come off the bench in college and make it to the NBA, I became the first ever undrafted rookie free agent in the history of the Dallas Mavericks to start opening night. I went from a college reserve to an NBA starter. It doesn't matter what you pay me because I understand the opportunity because I heard what Tony Robbins makes. I heard about Zig Ziglar and what he makes. I heard about Les Brown and what he makes. So I don't care what you pay me today. My basketball career started on the playground. It don't matter what you pay me right now. It doesn't matter what you pay me today because if I become the best of the world at what I do, the money's going to be okay. Is everybody with me? If you're not careful, you're sleepwalking through your own dash. And here's what happens to human nature. We hit certain thresholds and we relax. Some people hit a 6-figure threshold and they relax. And they smoke that cigar and say, man, I make 6 figures, bro. Ooh-wee. 6 figures. And they relax. Some people make $500,000. They hit a threshold and they relax. Some people hit the 7-figure number. Man, I make $1 million a year. And they relax. If you're not careful, whatever number you got in your head, as soon as you get that number in your head, as soon as you achieve that number, what does human nature want you to do? Relax. In fact, I see it in sports. Some guys win 1 championship and they relax. Meanwhile, Michael Jordan was like, I won 1. What's going on next year, fellas? Because I want more, because I will not relax. There's something on the inside of him that drives him, and that's why he's the greatest of all time. And that's why he is focused on his dash. When he gets done with his dash, we're gonna say, oh my goodness. When we get done with LeBron's dash, he's on the verge of passing Kareem. We thought nobody could ever pass Kareem, but LeBron James is focused on his dash, and let me tell you something. He wants to play with his son, and he wants to pass Kareem. He's always got a goal in front of him, and he's always pushing himself for another goal, even though he's a billionaire playing basketball. Does that make sense to everybody? I'm gonna give you business examples, I'm gonna give you sports examples, but when you leave this ballroom, the most important thing we can do is get your mindset right. Let me help you out. The first thing I learned about playing in the NBA was confidence. Confidence is arrogance under control. You cannot play in the NBA without confidence. I'm sitting on the bench. I told my coach, Coach, I can help you win, man. He looked at me and said, you can't run, you can't jump, you can't dribble, you can't shoot, you can't rebound. I said, Coach, I know I got weaknesses, man. But I'm gonna help your team win. I know I got more potential. In order for me to play in the NBA, I had to master the fundamentals of what? Basketball, right? It started when I was 8 years old on the south side of Chicago, and I would play ball every single day. I had to master the fundamentals of basketball. I understood if I'm ever going to play in the NBA, I must master the fundamentals of basketball, which means I have to learn how to dribble like an NBA ball player, or I would never play in the NBA. I had to learn how to shoot like an NBA ball player, or I would never play in the NBA. I had to learn how to defend like an NBA ball player. I'm only 6'5", guys. By NBA standards, I'm small. All my kids' friends will say, wow, your dad's so tall. When we go to NBA events, my kids are like, Dad, you're little. Dad, you're like the smallest guy in the room, which means I had to have great skill. Does that make sense? I had to learn at 6'5" how to defend, and you're guarding the best athletes in the world. Michael Jordan one night, Clyde Drexler the next night, Reggie Miller the next night. I had to learn how to defend like an NBA ball player. You cannot have a weakness in the NBA or you become a matchup nightmare, and you can't play in the NBA if you're weak defensively. I had to become an NBA-worthy defensive player. Does that make sense? I had to learn how to play above the rim. In order to play in the NBA, I had to master the fundamentals of basketball. The one thing my college coach did for me, every year I came back, he voted me most improved player. We would have a banquet at the end of the year. One of my teammates was a lottery pick, a guy named Willie Burton, the most talented teammate I've ever had. I played with Karl Malone, I played with John Stockton. I had a teammate named Willie Burton. He was the most talented teammate I ever had. So I knew I was not going to get the MVP trophy. I knew that. I knew I was not going to be Defensive Player of the Year. I knew I was not going to be the Offensive Player of the Year. The only trophy I wanted, guys, was Most Improved Player. Every year, my coach voted me Most Improved Player. And in fall camp, when camp began, he would say this to me: I see you've been working. I see you've been working, son. I can tell by your body you've been working, son. I see you've been working. I can tell by your jump shot. I see you've been working. I can tell by your dribbling. I see you've been working. I see you've been working. That's the only trophy I wanted. Was Most Improved Player. Let me tell you something about life. Sometimes people are put off by baby steps. Think about your children. What was the most important step they ever took? That baby step. If you're an assistant GM and you want to be a GM, take some baby steps. If you're a GM and you want to be a better GM, take some baby steps. Don't be put off by baby steps, because if you don't understand process, you're going to get frustrated. If you don't understand process, you're going to get angry. If you don't understand process, you're going to become impatient with your team. If you don't understand process, you're going to screw up your dash. We all hear the same, but sometimes we don't grab it. One man's trash is another man's treasure. See, the biggest mistake you can make in your leadership, you want to go and find somebody who's already got it. You want to go and find somebody who's already complete. You want to go and find you a superstar and get lucky. Your career is going to be based on how well you can coach. On my research on the way to the NBA, the most important thing I learned, it is impossible for any of us to reach our potential without a coach. So the first question I have, are you coachable? I know you're talented, I know you're gifted, but can I ask you a question? How do you relate to this coachable thing? Are you coachable? And are you a good coach? Your dash should be about the other people that you develop. Because if you help people reach their dreams, Your dream is built into it. Does that make sense?